points out, you're going to throw a really good ball. Okay, why are our feet shoulder width apart? It's inside my hip, and why? To be able to throw it forward, can I throw it? Inside your hip. So when you say hut, by the time the ball gets to you, we're saying that takes 2 steps. So on a 3-step drop, you're going here, and you can hinge with your left foot because we don't have a decelerating step. Remember? We go 3-step drop, big step, decelerate, catch. Okay? But you're in the gun, you don't have a decelerating step. So what we do to decelerate our body, we're going to take our big step, and then your left foot is just going to hinge in this direction, and that's going to decelerate your momentum. And then you're ready to throw the ball, right, in the gun. In a 5-step drop in the gun, we will catch this because the snap counts as what? 2 steps. So if we got a 5-step drop and we just took 2 out, what do we have left? 3. So I catch the ball, deep, 3, boom. And that's our timing. All right. And I'll throw in the right 9 inches. And where's the football? Right down the midline. So that's what it is. I'm standing here and I've got my receiver downfield and I've set up my 18-inch hallway. Okay, this is my midline. It's splitting the back foot here and it's cutting my receiver right down the middle. Okay, if I step out as a quarterback and my left foot stands on this midline, what happens to my hips? They're locked. Where is 90% of our power coming from? My legs. It's going to start in my toes because I've got active feet. It's going to explode like a wave up through my thighs, my hamstrings, and my rear end. Then it's going to come up my core and out my arm. But if I step on the midline with my left foot, all this power, I just cut it off right here. It's no longer going to come up here. What has to happen when I throw the football, I can't step in the left 9 inches and throw in the right 9 inches. So when this foot's here, look what happens to my body naturally. I've got to clear this hip. So when I throw, this foot's going to come out here, which put my arm out here. So you're exactly right. Where's the ball going to go? To the right. Now, you're here, and then when you step, this foot, your left foot, which we call the lead foot, is going to step in the left 9 inches. So what's that enable me to do? My hips are open. See how they're open? Now they're not locked. Now I can completely transfer all of that power. It can keep coming up through my body like a wave and out my arm, and I'm throwing right now. Where's my back foot on the catch? I just hit my 3-step drop, depth, decelerating, catch. Where's my back foot in relation to my body? Nope. In relation to the rest of my body. Is my back foot out here? It's inside my hip. Inside, just slightly. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but inside my hip. Okay. So I've got my receiver straight in front of me. I'm going to step. How are my knees? Am I standing straight up? My knees locked out. They're slightly bent. Slightly, not down here because you need to see the field. Slightly bent in the athletic position. Okay. Now I'm ready to throw. So what am I going to do?
Step your left foot in my left.
Okay. And then when I throw, all right. So when an airplane takes off, okay, where's the nose of the airplane pointed? It's pointed up, right? And it's taking off. Airplane's rolling down the line, it starts taking off, the nose of the airplane's up like that, right? I'm concerned about your wrist, and I'm concerned about your elbow, okay? So the first two, the thumb and the wrist, we're going to eliminate pre-pass, okay? What's pre-pass mean? before the throw, before we throw it. Because remember we talked last time that any variable, any movement in my body that I can eliminate is going to be more up top. I've got my middle finger up against the lace. I've got my fourth finger right here. See where that knuckle is? I've got the knuckle right over the seam, okay? So I do that, and everybody has different grips and it works in different ways, but ideally, if I do this, where's the nose of the football? It's pointing up, pointing down. So you need the palm pocket, and how you control that is by your thumb of your football. So when I throw this and I release this football, the first fingers that are going to come off are my pinky, then my ring finger, then my middle finger, and then this finger is going to be the last one to come off. So sometimes our pinky has a tendency to pull the nose of the football down if it's over the laces. So I put it in the notch of the laces so that when it comes off, it's not pulling on it. These two middle fingers, they the same length? No, right? But when I offset them like that, these two fingers are going to come off the ball at the same time. Ideally, we want it cocked, okay? I'm going to let you hold the football like you normally would, like you're ready to throw the football, okay? So I want you to bring it here, and I want your wrist to be curled. You see that? See how that's curled? Okay, ready? Notch there. I've removed the stop sign that says no power, and I've allowed all that power to flow through here into my hand and out my fingers. Okay, so when I throw that football, I'm going to put velocity and spin on that football through my fingertips. Where did all that power start? Started in my legs, right? And because I didn't step on my midline, because I stepped in the left 9 inches and allowed my hips to clear, that power kept coming through my body, and it eventually came out my fingertips. Wrist cocked is going to allow me to have power go through my forearm. It's going to give me a longer wrist snap so I can put a lot of torque and velocity on that football. All right. Last thing I'm concerned about is my elbow. Okay. So I'm more concerned about this. This is an L. Looks like the letter L. You have got to get to L. When I talk with offensive coordinators at major universities and I say, what are you concerned about with upper body mechanics? They say, if the kid can't get to an L, I don't even watch it. Okay? So you've got to be in this position with your thumb placed correctly, your wrist cocked, and then when you step to throw, you need to get the ball to an L position. All right? This is unnecessary. This 0 position with the elbow way up at 45 degrees is unnecessary. But if you throw and this elbow is below your shoulder, you're going to throw sidearm. Last step of our drop, so our foot's inside our hip, right? We're going to step in the left 9 inches. We got a good cocked wrist. We've got a nose up trajectory. Okay? How am I going to hold this football? Which is what I'm going to keep the ball on our back shoulder in this position, lined up about here. Okay? My wrist is going to be cocked, and I'm going to form a triangle. Okay? See how my arms are comfortable forming a triangle? And then when I get to my L position, it's just this quick movement. That's a lot faster than Tim Tebow, isn't it? So if I'm playing defense and I see my quarterback's here, he goes like this and releases the ball. That's pretty quick. And I don't have time to get on my receiver. So now you're going to go straight back into L. Now look where the ball is. Nose of the ball is pointing up. Perfect. Right? Because it's got to be pointing up to be able to fly. And you did that pre-snap by where your thumb was placed. So we're here, eyes are downfield, boom.
Do it, Gage.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Now, if I've got the ball on my back shoulder, I want you to do this. Get in your stance for me. Okay. Ball on your back shoulder, front shoulder's closed. Okay. So front shoulder slightly closed like this. What that does is it tenses up your core. Your stomach muscles are loaded because they're contracted. Remember we talked about flexing, and that muscle was contracted, now it's ready to do its job. Here I am, ball's on my back shoulder, my front shoulder is slightly closed. What that does to my core is it loads it, okay? So now this wave of energy is gonna come up out of my legs, it's gonna come through my core, and it's gonna come out my arm and into that football, okay? But if I'm making a vertical throw down a vertical hallway, when I finish, this arm's gonna come right down here on my back ball. Because he doesn't throw from here like a pistol, he throws from here like a sniper rifle, where the ball has traveled down the length of his arm much longer, and therefore he's more accurate, because the power, if I release here, is not as great as the power I'm putting into the football if I release my wrist. Okay. Base here, I want the elbow up 45 degrees, and if I have a plane here, I want it out 45 degrees. So it's up 45 degrees from my armpit and out 45 degrees from the head of my shoulder. And that's just a natural. So the nose of the football's up, my knees are slightly bent, the elbow is above my shoulder, and when I step, when I release this, it's just going to be a snap of the wrist. Okay? So if I froze you when I was throwing that football in my last 6 inches, that's exactly what you would look like. The nose would be slightly up. Okay? So right here. So this is almost going to be over your right eye. You're leaning back a little bit because you're all tense. Just loose. Right here. Boom. Okay? Okay? So we're trying to learn to snap that wrist and use the power of my forearm on this. Okay? If this elbow's below the shoulder, we got a problem. So it's slightly up there. Yep. Now get your legs into it. You did good on snapping. There you go. So you want to aim at your dad's head. My knees are slightly here. The ball's slightly over my right eye. My elbow is above my shoulder, or at least even with it. I'm going to snap it and snap it. See where my hand finished? Lift up. Okay? So we're going to go like this. We're going to run our elbow out like this. The football's basically going to stay in the same location. It's going to come back down, and then I'm going to extend. Okay? So we're doing a wrist snap and an extension. And I'm going to finish with my hand up here over my right eye. So it's going to look something like this. Okay? I'm going to throw it at your dad now. See where my hand finished? See how much spiral I had on it? Because I understand how to wrist snap. Boom. My wrist snapped. I put the football on. Good, easy. Okay? So we're down here. It's under our chin. Our elbow is in. It's not out like this. It's in. Okay? We're going to go out, down, up. And we're going to use our knees at the same time. Out. There you go. Now you see how that kind of wobbled? As opposed to pushing the football, you snap your wrist, and that's going to end up throwing the football. Okay?
Bring your elbow all the way back down, though. You get it out.
Out. Down. There you go. So you're kind of finishing with your hand way up here. So this is not like the foul shot. Okay? Your foul shot, you're going up like this. This one we're going out, and it's going up and out. It's not going straight out like this. It's not going straight up like this. It's going. You know what I see? I see somebody that's really tense. Be able to be comfortable with your mechanics where you're not all tensed up. Okay? My legs are loaded. I'm slightly here. I'm just having a nice day. Boom, 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 boom. Over and over again. When are we going to do the fun stuff, Coach? This is boring.
This is good for us.
There you go. Now you're still going a little bit too high up. Okay? So knees bent. Okay? Let's going to go boom, boom, right out. And where's your hand now? It's right about where your right eye is. Okay? Not going up. First thing you can say is the nose of my football up? Because some people get lazy, and the first thing I check is, oh, the nose of the football's down. So I go here, then I'm going to push it. Nose of the football's up. When the nose of the football's up, what's that do to my wrist? Cocks my wrist. So now my wrist is ready to do work. It's going to come out, up, and snap. All right? Better. Still a little bit. If I go 1, 2, 3, and then a hop, what did that just take? Took time. Okay? That third step and release. Some of your movements out, you're going to throw a really good hop. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What happens if you get a blitz, you're in your drop, you're swinging the football like this, and you're about to get tackled when the football's here? You ready to throw the football? No, because you got to bring it all the way back here. I know that I put every ounce of power into that football. Good. Good. Better. I'm feeling, when I catch that ball, I feel it.
Run that hip through, run that hop on this 3-step drop.
Good. Now that ball sailed a little bit. Okay. 2 early. 2 more. And look at that. That's good. Still wobble. You can't end on that number. We'll end when you throw me a good ball. That's it. Perfect.